team somehow and kind of work these lanes to their favor. If they can, then that early timing can come online. Do you like the tips coming out? A lot of respect. I mean, 23 and Gunner used to play together
That's
on
true.
Genisbris, which was, I believe it's an open secret now. That was an unsigned T1. So they go all the way back.
That was a long time ago. Well, the 4 hero smoke does get broken as they walk up onto the high ground. Q did not want to go for Avalanche first, which makes sense. We'll probably go tree thing of just denying creeps in the face of your carry. So it's going to be nice for that lane. I'm really curious how this mid Ricky's going to do. You said you don't think it'll be that bad. I don't know if we'll be able to stop Makoto, but the mid Ricky build is definitely just going to be rushing that ring of health to get to that meteor hammer, and if Zeus leaves his lane, he loses the tower. So we'll see how that ends up working.
Oh, kalma lang kalma.
Yeah,
Relax
I think you can play it.
lang.
Like, again, maybe a value point in Smoke Scream helps you massively stop the heavily jump and just kind of force the Zeus to be in a really awkward position. You are kind of just poking and prodding a little bit. You have the early Janata, so you lose a little bit of gold there for Savage. Not too bad.
Yeah, this is honestly not a bad way of addressing this safe lane anti-mage. Like, Bounty Hunter is just a hero that honestly has great base stats, some of the best base stats in all of Dota. He has incredibly high armor and very good stat gains. So, yeah, this is going to be actually a pretty rough lane for the anti-mage. He's going to have to get to that Vanguard, but unlike last game where it's like you're hoping to beat the anti-mage in that war of attrition, once you got the Vanguard, that kind of ended. Moo will still just be stealing your gold. So
Yeah.
at least you're getting something out of it. So we'll see how well that ends up working.
Every timing's just going to feel a little bit slower for Savage if Moo's allowed to thwack away at him. And that's where things get a little bit painful, and like level 1, 12 gold, but once you hit your level 3, 28 gold, that's almost a full creep you're stealing away every time. That just stalls out the AM every single time you manage to thwack him, and that's going to be every 5 seconds at that level 5 mark. So it's going to feel really good for Moo. And for Savage, well, he's just going to have to copy it, Like, he picked the aim early. This is one of the consequences of that.
My goodness, bottom lane. Yam started taking a beating, but does get the wave pull, so he's going to be able to kind of CS this fairly easily. Hopefully just... Ooh, a range creep, axe throw, just comes up a little short there, unlucky. But we'll be okay here. So I'm curious, like, which lane we're going to probably see first, but I have to imagine it would be top, seeing like a Bounty Hunter Hoodwink up against like a Lich Anti-Mage. I feel like these heroes have a lot of damage they're going to throw at each other. But maybe we'll see something spicy in the mid lane, who knows?
I feel like it's probably bot lane, actually, once you do have, like, Avalanche Toss-Up and a value point in decrep, then you just decrep Avalanche Toss and someone surely dies there. That is a painful and nasty combination with all the amp coming through.
That is true.
Once it's up, it'll take some time.
All right, but overall, everyone's just kind of farming it up. Gunner is doing really well in the mid lane. I mean, he did this last game too, right? He had a decent time farming, but ended up kind of just falling off once Zeus just started rotating around, and you don't really have that type of damage early from the Monkey King, so...
Yeah, I think the big difference is, again, with a mid-Ricky, you go for that Meteor Hammer, it's a lot faster. Where in comparison to last game where Gunner was going for Desolator from mid, it just takes time. It's not a fast farm-up, no matter what state of the game. As fast as you could hope for is probably like 14, and by then, Talon is already running you down. So with a Meteor Hammer, with how fast it is, you just have more presence. You have more threat, you can push, as you mentioned, onto tier 1. And you can force rotations out, which is where the Ricky will shine. I think Mikado is still fine, though. Again, he's CSing pretty alright. He's not shoved away completely. He has Bounty Rune control as well. So, the big difference is I don't think Q is going to be stacking. So some of that flash farm, not going to kick in here this time around.
Yeah, that is true. Q was able to just leave bottom lane last game, right? This game, he doesn't really have that option. Pugna could definitely get ran down by a Troll IO. He always has like the decrep to try and save himself, but it's You know what? If he just goes mobility, like it's enough movement speed, he can probably just run away. Pugna is super fast.
Yeah, he is. Already got the boots up, so should be able to just blitz his way out if trouble's there. But you still don't want to put yourself in that position. Like, if you do get rooted up somehow playing really aggressive on jabs, then, well, you're kind of just dead. Decrep probably doesn't last long enough here for you to feel safe. And again, you kind of want to maximize, like, Decrep, Avalanche, Toss. Nouns are playing a lot more defensive, though. They're playing a lot more patient. They're not running too far forward, although I say that.
Ooh, there it is, Gravitas combo. You mentioned it. Husky gets picked off. Those 2 points Nether Blast, man. That's a lot of damage.
Right when I say they're being patient on Nouns, they run forward and they get punished. You have to respect that output. That wasn't even with the Decrep on top. I don't think Jabs was in range to get that off with the Avalanche Toss right in the perfect time to sink up all that damage.
Moo is taking a lot
you
of
have to
damage
respect
from
that.
23 as well. But the damage doesn't stick as much, right? Like, they might both just be rushing Vanguard. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're both just going to go Vanguard and hit each other over and over and over. And I think that does favor the Bounty Hunter, of course, because of just Janata natively. But that's pretty funny.
It is. And yeah, you do feel better on Moo. My worry is you have magic damage on Ollie, so you can still run him down. And with the loss of mana for the Bounty, I mean, all he can do is play with Janata. Like, you can't threaten with your Shuriken. You can't try to Shadow Walk aggressively. You have to save it for the defense. You do have Mangoes up on Moo to kind of rectify that. But look at Savage. I mean, he's full mana. He can always blink out. Ollie's on the sideline. Can get the Frost Shield up to give him almost the same durability as the Bounty Hunter, even with that early Blightstone start for Lelis. So I don't think it's actually that bad for the AM, and arguably could be a little bit better on the aggression.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of which, aggression, Lelis. Oh, the Thunder God's Wrath. The assist from the mid lane. Makoto gets himself his first kill now.
A lot slower for game, but a big kill for Makoto's line. He just accelerated his timings already. He has the Arcane rune up, and he has an Invis rune up against a Riki, which is always funny to see. Both of them Invis. You do have a value point in the smoke screen, but without anyone coming in to help the Riki, you don't really want to get aggressive onto the Zeus and Moo.
Taking a lot of damage as well. I mean, 23 will beat him to the Vanguard. Gunnar does have his Meteor Hammer being delivered right now, so that is going to be super helpful. He'll start pushing this mid lane, but we're already seeing Q start to make his rotations. They feel pretty confident just leaving Jab's bottom right now, and if they find this Riki, it would be a really nice kill. He does have the Sentry available.
Radiant's
Looks like he's just going to head back away. And 23 Vanguard completed. That's quite nice for him.
It's off Moo's Courier, so that stalls out the Vanguard just a little bit. I mean, he's right by the secret shop. Not going to be the biggest deal, but has to be careful.
He's taking a lot of damage here. Pops the Mango, tries to survive under the tower. It will work. I mean, he's 90 gold away from the Vanguard. So he'll probably just wait out on this wave and go for it. Gunnar making his rotation top, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is just blink around top. And he's going to be walking into a Sentry now. Turns his attention over to Ollie's Lich. Does have tricks of the trade. Nice pushback, catching two. Needs to be careful, though. He does have Q. There's the Avatos. And Gunnar does drop the smoke screen, taking a lot of damage here from 23. But Moo needs to try and offer the assist. He's walking into another Sentry, unfortunately, but a great bushwhack. Anti-Mage needs to be careful. Gets his blink away. But Gunnar might not be done. He's looking for him. Tricks of the trade is out. There's going to be the damage from the Acorn. One more auto attack. It's a Shuriken instead that finds the kill. Gunnar dropping the Meteor Hammer. It's going to connect onto the Lich. He's taking a ton of damage. He just TP'd up there. Drops a smoke screen. Gunnar gets the kill. Okay, bleeding a lot in this top lane. This is the opposite from what we saw last time. It ends up being 4 deaths for none.
That's the big difference. You've got activity on Gunnar. Like, he has the early item, he has the early presence, and he can fight back from that aggression on Talon. Talon, they don't respect it. They don't respect that Riki with a Meteor Hammer as much as they should have, and they get punished. Those are big kills for Moo to be around as well. Like, he's going to be into the 6. It's still a little bit slower than Savage's timings, but he's on the way to recovery, and once you have that track up, with this Riki and Bounty Hunter that could just hunt you down, with the Io relocate available, It gets scary. The snowball can kick in for nouns, and Talon have to be a lot more cautious about bleeding out like that.
Yeah, it's still very, very even in terms of net worth. Like, you have Zeus and Pugna having great games, which is what we expected, and the Pugna is going to be scary because this hero will definitely take your towers. And Makoto, he's bottom with this Arcane Rune. Husky needs to be a little bit careful. Sees Q rotating in as well, so it looks like he's going to give this one up. This tower slowly going to die here to this Nether Blast. Meanwhile, I'm surprised the Riki is rotating away. I thought he might apply pressure onto mid with this Meteor Hammer, but instead, doesn't quite work.
Just trying to maintain the presence in the jungle, clearing out camps, scouting out Savage a little bit. Both our safe laners are having a really rough time. Yamsen is starting to pull a little bit ahead of Savage, not by much. But you already see Yamsen again, just kind of dipping into the jungle earlier on. This is the race to the Battle Fury here. And again, like, it just feels like for nouns, once these level spikes are up, their team fight is just incredible. Maybe not the team fight, more of their pickoff and the scare that it comes out with. Like, track is already up on Moo. So if they just find the opportunities to hunt, things get scary.
Gunner steals away the regen rune there from the Zeus, which is quite nice. And he TP's bottom. I'm not really sure if I like these rotations from nouns. I feel like they need to start getting towers, but Moo looking for Q top lane, does get the track, and it's going to start beginning here pretty soon. TP as well in from Pugna, so Jabs they're trying to offer some assist here.
He has his own Meteor Hammer up. So even if they don't find a kill off, they can just lay onto this objective. They can take the top tier 1 no problem if Nouns doesn't respond in a timely manner. And we'll have to just play it a bit safe. They respect that pick-off potential coming out from Nouns. And Talon are still working the net for it. Right? Like, it's a really even game, but Mikado and Jabs, as you mentioned, are still up there. Savage is still on his recovery. You don't mind a slightly slower tempo for Talon, as you are also waiting for like a blink to come out onto Q. And that's where most of your play will come from. A lot of pressure on Q to can deliver the performances he's known for on his Tiny. And it takes time for that. Like, he has made some great rotations already, but to really start these fights, you're going to need a blink. At the least, he has the Tumbler's Toy. Yeah. Which is, you know, just as useful. So he can make some plays now.
The blink
like
at home. You know?
Look at this. They're going to smoke. Yeah, the blink at home.
So yeah, they do smoke to the bottom lane. I like this. Lush has level 6. They need to start finding some kills here, right? You've got this Riki mid lane. He hasn't been taking towers. Oh, the Thunder God's Wrath does kind of scout them out, but they still manage to find the anti-mage anyway. Damage, though, it's not quite there. So Chain Frost now going to start adding up. A lot of damage here. Ollie just taking a lot of right clicks from this Riki, and a matter of time, one more blink stripe is all they need, but they will get the bushwhack instead. So you get the bounty hunter with Thunder God's Wrath top, and now Jabs will start taking your tower.
And that is a fast tower with another blast and Meteor Hammer. It doesn't take too long. It's going to take a lot of damage. Moo does rotate back top to kind of stop that. But for Talon, that's a much more worthwhile trade. You sacrifice your pause 5, you find the pause 3, and you save Savage. He's still back to farming. It's still a slower game for Savage in comparison. Like, Yamsen is having much more space. He's not under pressure at all. And look at Gunner. Like, he knows he has to play quickly. He has to set that tempo. He's just constantly scouting around here.
Off the mark there with the sharpshooter top lane, but the other thing I want to point at is because this anti-mage has to go out of the way for the Vanguard, it does slow down his Battle Fury timing quite a bit, whereas Yamsun's like over halfway there. He's one component away, just about 1,100 gold from that Battle Fury, whereas 23, I mean, he's got a long way to go.
And that can give an earlier timing for a Troll, you know, to kind of hit into the BKB, start to play with his potential of the relocate, and with the overcharge, boosting your attack speed by a huge amount to stack up the fervor. And with Moo just kind of running around, it makes it feel really unsafe for Talon. Right? That they're not able to work the map as well. They're playing much more defensively and just trying to farm up. So it's giving an equal footing out to Nouns to keep that arms race build up.
they're slowly working on this. Gunnar has been able to just farm up bottom lane with Ricky. Instead of like trying to force towers, he's kind of just clearing waves with this Meteor Hammer, getting closer to his Diffusal. And I don't really hate that because the Diffusal gives you a lot of kill threats on the Zeus, but Zeus knows he's just itemizing right away for a 4-stack. As well as Husky underneath this ward here top is they do need to be a little bit careful in bottom lane. Yamsun as well as Gunnar will help take down Q, so Husky's stuck, it looks like.
Oh boy.
Moo, you know, sometimes you tether to the low ground, you just get stuck on a little ledge there. What can you do?
I mean, it's a bigger kill coming out for now. It's like slowing down Q's blink that we've talked about for a long time. This is key for Talon. This is where all their play is going to be coming from. They're going to try to make their move onto mid, and the tower should just fall. This is not going to take that much. They don't even need a Meteor Hammer. So now you've got a little bit more map control advantage back, but I don't think it means as much when you're playing against the Ricky Bounty. Even with mid tower gone, like the threat of these heroes rotating, the drain on the economy it will take on the supports to constantly get some wards up, get some sentries down in entrance points, it still makes it painful to try and to invade the bot area successfully. So I don't think you lose much on nouns. You're actually pretty happy. You've got room to shove in top. Moon's just getting the creep wave in. Talon not going to defend.
Looks like they will finally grab this tier 1 tower, their first one of the game. I mean, bottom lane, though, they are getting a little bit aggressive as Yamsun will finish off Ollie, and Chain Frost does not really bounce around too much there, and that is a completed Battle Fury, so Yamsun will be able to probably pull away here from the anti-mage. He just needs like some actual area of the map to farm. But that being said, we're only about 800 gold away on 23 from his Battle Fury.
It's not the slowest. It still feels a lot better for Yamsun, but again, with the lack of, say, stacks on hand, you're not going to get that burst farm fresh off the Battle Fury. And 23 still has his blink around, so he moves around the map a lot faster. Gunnar is constantly tracking him, though. And that smoke screen is just so damn annoying for the AM to deal with. But Ollie never leaves his side. Like that's the sign of a good support. Yeah, I know it's going to be tough for you. Here, let me drop you some sentries.
Yeah, I mean, he did reveal the Pugna rotation bottom as well, so they know what's going on. That nice keyword there from Husky does manage to find Obs. So they kind of know, like, they don't really want to push this bottom tower with the Pugna here. He's too good at dealing with the troll at the moment, so they just instead back away to farm through the jungle.
This is also space out for Q. He's been given the top lane for himself.
Yeah.
And he's only 100 gold away from that blink. Once that blink is up, we've got to see Talon kind of play around it. I don't think you want to play a passive game forever, because you do have to respect IO Troll. That combination is strong, and the threat of track kills off the back of that timing for Yamsun to hit, it's massive. So you kind of want to get those plays out now, with Q having this item reveal ready. The issue is, where can they really go? It's going to be hard for them, just because when you smoke up, it's a Ricky and a Bounty Hunter. It's so hard to smoke in when these heroes are just anywhere on the map, and you just don't know.
See what they can do. Move. I mean, I feel like I haven't felt the effect of this offlane bounty. That being said, Gonner does try to get aggressive here onto Makoto. They're going to go ahead and reload in as well. So they're going to be able to try and dive him. He gets the sentry.
Oh.
There's the Q blink reveal. Managed to get a huge Avatos onto 4 as Jabs drops the ward as well. It looks like that's going to be enough to tell Nouns to get away. So they will just take control back into the triangle. He'll continue farming up. And yeah, I mean, this diffusal timing completely thwarted by that Force Staff.
That's pretty big on Talon. Maybe not the blink reveal you'd want for Q, as it's used a lot more defensively than you want. So now should be able to be, they should be able to expect it now, and you're not gonna have the surprise factor any longer. Still, you save out Mikoto. Your Zeus is perfectly fine. You waste a lot of resources heading top, and you're giving Savage space to farm. So now it's the AM who gets to utilize the space a lot better. Yamsun still has a solid lead, but I don't expect Savage to be too far behind, considering, again, the mobility, the innate mobility that the AM has, makes it pretty easy to jump around camps and clear out a little bit faster.
Absolutely. And he's got stacks made, man. He's got this Ancient. It's going to take him a little bit to finish it up, but will eventually get there. As he grabs just a bunch of jungle items as well. Seems to be very happy about that.
He's used the Philosopher's Stone for now. Well, I thought he'd use the Ring of Aquila. He sent it home.
That
And
might
now,
have been a
okay, he's
misclick,
sending
yeah.
it back. Alright. No problems.
Just get that couple gold of efficiency. Mid lane, Gunner finds 23. He's just playing way too low in the lane. As he will just snipe him. All right, I mean, that's a big win for Gunner. Almost 600 gold for that kill. What?
Savage is just worth that much. And he needs to respect that Ricky. Again, you just don't know where these heroes are sometimes. And the Ricky punishes AM in a big way. You don't want to go for early BKB. You definitely don't want a Force Staff. So you're always just relying on someone else to bail you out. In this case, it's only really Mikado who can save you with his Force Staff. No support Force Staffs yet, although Ollie is trying to rush one. That kill being worth so much. I mean, you've got the 2k lead on your side for Nouns. With his time dead on the AM, the Troll manages to pull ahead even further. That BKB timing coming out for Yamson is huge, because you are mainly magic damage on the side of Talon.
Yeah.
That's where all your burst is coming in. You're not going to be able to handle the Troll once that BKB is up. Like this Pugna counter, it just fades with a spell immunity.
You can definitely force the Roshan with that BKB as well. Bottom lane, Lich going for the D-Ward. He gets it, but Yamsun cleans up the kill. His Q will blink away. Now Jabs, he's tracked up here by Moo. He's going to need help and fast. He's got a Force Staff Q. Saved by the Decrep for the moment, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out of here. Jabs with his Force, find a little bit of space to toss away from the Tiny. The Battle Trance comes out, but a really nice blink dodge on the Bushwhack, and Makoto's here now. So they turn it around, trying to bring down Lelis instead. Moo will start letting these shurikens fly. I mean, it is a lot of damage as well. The dust does connect. He's got another shuriken available if he wants, but he's got to be careful. Makoto doing way too much to Avatos as well. 3 tracks in the bottom lane. They don't find the kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, Anti-Mage in some trouble. Gets the blink away, but they're going to continue the chase. Can they actually find the kill? They can't. He's going to be reloading back bottom, and they are set up to find you. Bushwhack will at least buy him a little bit of space for the moment. Can he get the tether out? No, doesn't look like it. Sharpshooter off the mark as well.
Talon, they find a lot of punishment off the back of that. They managed to bail out. I mean, they did have the Force Staff as well, and Jabs, so didn't quite notice that, so they just used that in the movement speed. Like you mentioned this earlier on, but Pugna move speed is pretty damn high. You can find yourself in circumstances where you just run out. And for now, I mean, those were so many tracks. If they found like at least 2 of those kills, it would have felt amazing, but they're not able to. Then they switch focus, switch gears onto mid. You don't pin down 23. Yeah, you kind of rely on like rooting him in the smoke, which can happen fairly commonly once you do have the IO overcharge up, but it just doesn't come out, and he's perfectly fine. Like, the AM is still 2k behind the Troll, which for the AM really is kind of awful. You do want to be ahead with that hero, but it's also not completely unplayable at this point yet.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing to notice too is Moo has been toggling back and forth on his item build for the Bounty Hunter between BKB and Ags. I think that last fight kind of proves to me that the Ags is actually more important. Like, his shurikens were just doing a lot of damage, and with the Ags, it's just that much more. They're going to go ahead and try and protect the Roche. They break the Blink Dagger there on Q. He's going to start just letting these tracks go through. He's taking up a lot here, but a Media Hammer off the mark. Big Chain Frost coming through, but the bad bounce there, unlucky as they look for more. Media Hammer not going to connect as they look to try and just pop the Battle Trance, chase down this Pugna, but it's not going to work. Looking for Makoto instead. Gunner does get a great smoke screen. He's got the Blink Strike available. Big Thunder God's Wrath, but 3 track kills. Looking for more as Q. Underneath the tower, the BKB here from Yansun doing work, and finally, Nouns find themselves an opening.
That's where it falls apart for Talon. Like the BKB reveal on Yamson, having the fight break out. Your Zeus just isn't able to control out the Troll. Your Pugna can't control the Troll. Your AM's not ready to fight. And all of a sudden, a 5k lead popping out from Nouns. This is the scary thing about this draft. When you've got that Bounty Hunter, you take a couple of these engagements, you find yourself with a massive lead. And Talon have no comeback from that. Like they are fully dependent on Q to set up for them. There's only so much this one Tiny can do. It's him against the world to set up for the team. So a lot of pressure on him to try to reel this back, but a great bounce from nouns, keeping themselves firmly in the lead in this game. And quite frankly, with this kind of lead, it's so much easier to play this lineup. Like for Talon, it's such a tempo draft. When you play the Pugna core, if its timings are off, then the hero falls flat quite fast until BKBs are down to 6 seconds, which will take way more fights. So there's a moment where you can kind of reel it back in for the Zeus and Pugna, but it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some hold here from Talon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yamsun and Husky can get scouted by the ward here. I mean, they're thinking about it, but Q would have to have a really good initiation. You still have that Aegis to fall back on. BKB back off cooldown. They're looking for Moo. They do manage to get their first track. There's going to be Avalanche toss in from Q, but Gunnar comes in, gets a really nice dart, traps the Zeus in place. He's got a Force Staff, but can he survive? A nice decrep for the moment, but it's not enough. 2 dead at the moment, and they're looking for more. Does he get the track? He does. He finds Pugna. Jabs will go down in just a matter of time. Q will blink away. That is 3 track kills and a completed Aghanim Scepter for this bounty. I mean, he just profited 1,100 gold in that fight.
That is so massive. It's just too much. Talon, they can't afford to bleed out like this. They're forcing things into the Aegis. They're forcing all of this movement out. And now their towers will melt. This is still IO Troll. This lineup melts objectives so damn fast.
And you have Meteor Hammer too, right? Like, they're going to have to fort this tier 3 pretty much right away. Well, just need to have the Frost Armor there, which will slow this down for a moment, but Zeus and Pugna coming up soon, so it looks like they will just back away now. They don't want to give that up. Meanwhile, 23 gets the split push there onto the tower. Does Gunnar find him is the question. He's scouting. The blink, they will see him. He's too far away, though.
Yeah, just a little bit too far out, and Talon does manage to hold with just the fort. They won't have that for the next shove in. On cooldown for quite some time. Aegis, though, only has a minute and a half left, but that's more than enough time for nouns to try to take more off the map, maybe force some more pickoffs to come out. And Talon, it's all about the stall now. Your timings are completely messed up. It's nouns that's really strong at this point in the game. Yeah, you have a double damage rune running on Yamsun, blessed again by Gaben. And Talon, they just need to stem the bleeding somehow. Just play it patient. Don't get overly aggressive jabs.
Oh, they found him. There's the Bounty Hunter. Tracked him up. He's gone, of course, the Shuriken if he wants. And there it is. With the Aghanim Scepter, I mean, this ability does so much damage. Like, it's 200 off the Shuriken plus your Janata hit. So it is surprising.
Way too much damage. And way too much gold that'll flow into Moo. Like, he will just accelerate faster and faster. Now in this game, Octarine's going to be a build-up he can hit. He can kind of get the aura items, go back for that if he feels the need to. He can go for the Hex for more control from the Invis. Like, this game does not get that much easier for Talon as time goes on. You will be playing at that deficit for quite a long time. And your high ground is just always under constant threat. Your high ground hold is decent with Zeus and Pugna, but it's not the easiest game for any of that. And even for Q to get the toss backs, the smoke screen just ruins that.
I mean, it looks like, I'm looking at the build here on nouns, and like, Husky's got the mech, and Luz has the pipe, so Moo has full reign to just go damage. So I would guess Octarine is his next item. Like, one of those items that gives you a ton of cast range. Okay, now and he just queues up a BKB, so what do I know?
I think the BKB is also pretty high value against all the magic damage coming through here.
Yeah.
Prevent yourself from being held down. You don't have anything that pierces the BKB in this game. So Talon just has big issues dealing with spell immunity. They've got the BKB up on Savage, so you can stand and fight a little bit more, but again, it's just not the comfiest. Not until he gets maybe his Basher into Butterfly. That's when you can start to play a little bit more on this AM, but it's just time. Time is the big resource Talon needs to farm up now.
Yeah. You also don't have BKB builders on the rest of Talon, like Pugna, Zeus. These heroes hate building BKB. So you're not going to be able to get this track off of you, and that is going to be a massive problem for this game. You're pretty much all in on 23 being able to stall this one out with his split push, and they are really looking for him. He blinks in aggressively again. He does see Yamsun now, though, so 23 will continue to hide in the trees. And aggressive blink forward, he goes right into Gunner. The darts into the Meteor Hammer, the silence is there. Of course, he's got the Manta and the BKB to pull. 23's out. That's going to be the BKB spent on the Anti-Mage. Meanwhile, mid lane, Moo is the one that gets found here. Going to start throwing these shurikens around. Lelos trying to offer some assistance. Huge bushwhack, but Moo still ends up dying. So a great turnaround there from Talon.
It cost them a lot of resources. They did have to pop the Thunder God's Wrath, but managed to get a kill. And again, they are getting that stall somehow on Talon's end. I do like the build-ups coming out from nouns, though. Like, look at Gunner. He's got the Octarine ready. The spam on the Sleeping Dart is still so annoying. The restore time on your Blink Strikes are great. And then he's going straight into the Ags. Tricks of the Trade upgrade coming in. The good old Pocket Ricky. So now you can relocate with a lot of heroes. You could relocate with 3 heroes, in fact. Unless, am I misremembering how the interaction works? Surely it takes you along for the ride, right?
It does, yeah, it does. I don't know if that's necessarily like the plan that they're going for, but you can absolutely do that. If you time it correctly with the reload, it'll work. But like the thing is with it is, it increases the attack count and it allows you to hit 2 units, so you actually just farm a lot faster with it as well. Like you just can actually kill stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, you just get to ramp up faster again. You make use of this time that Talon's trying to farm up and use that against them.
Ooh, Yamsun has an
scaling
axe.
is still there.
That's huge.
Oh,
That'll allow him to remove the decrep either on himself or on an enemy. That's big.
yeah. Again, it makes this game so tough for Talon. Like, their timing had to be a lot faster. They're still holding on to their 2 outer objectives. Their tier 3 is still up top. So, they're not completely out yet, but this game is just so difficult. It's a very, very difficult game for them to get off successfully now. And, now they just have this really good understanding of what they have to do. Like they know the items they need to go for. They know the timings. They know that they've got a lot of room. They take over the top jungle. They clear out the triangle. The bot jungle is the only area where Talon can play, and Savage has just constantly been hunted there when he does dip in. And Talon just aren't going to make any moves. They just have to sit back and wait and wait and wait and hope that they get enough farm to find opportunities on the high ground.
I mean, they're actually going to smoke right now with the Abyssal delivery, and I think this is really smart because you have the ability to pop the IO in these fights now. 23, if he manages to find him, taking down the IO will massively turn the fight in their favor, and they're going to smoke into each other. The Thunder God's Wrath comes through. 23's looking for his target, but he doesn't actually find him. Silence up on the backside, and he's forced to leave. The BKB spent on Yamsun. They need to get more as Gunner drops a smoke screen. Do manage to actually continue to chase, but there is the turnaround. The BKB onto Gunner. He gets the tricks of the trade at the moment as Yamsun's trying to speed into him. He gets the blink strike out. 23 the chase for more. He doesn't manage to do it. The dart comes in, puts the anti-mage to sleep, and now Lelos coming through the bushwhack connects, but the damage. Can he get out on the Ricky? The saves from Husky's gonna be enough, and Moo on the backside. He's the one that's in trouble. Left to the enemy team. 4 heroes surround him. There will be a double buyback here on the side of Talon. A nice fight from Nouns, but they don't get... I mean, they don't really get enough out of this. The Roche just respawned.
Yeah, I don't think it's all doom and gloom for Nouns, but the BKB being expended is massive. Still, at the same time, it's not the safest Roche for Talon. If you can sneak in with a Ricky, you can just play with a Meteor Hammer. You can play with this long-range disable on the bushwhack. Talon has to go for another smoke first. They need a pick-off.
And there it is. He's going to immediately blink onto the backside. Husky will be protected thanks to that Glimmer Cape, and they just disengage. Okay. Time some wasted. Oh, nice dagger. Once again, catching the anti-mage. Just put him to sleep. Gunner. Big smoke screens out once again, trying to disrupt the whole backline, but he's the one that's caught in trouble. The Meteor Hammer the other way. He's still fairly tanky as Husky's keeping him alive as Yamsun's trying to chase for more up onto the high ground. Has the BKB, has a battle trance. Gunner again falling low. They got to start getting these tracks bouncing. And there they are. They've got the anti-mage. Can they root him in place? They do. The toss-up onto the high ground. Q's starting to fall low as he pops the BKB. He's out, but Gunners with buyback. Looking to try and chase on top of him. Does manage to catch the Pugna for the moment. Makoto will TP on out. There's the Bushwhack to catch it as well. And Ollie falling on the backside here to this Bounty Hunter. So they end up getting a double dieback and a Pugna for their efforts. And Roshan now looking pretty tasty for Nouns.
They've got the huge opening. This Octarine on Gunner is the most annoying thing in the game. 6-second duration smoke screen, 5.3 second cooldown. You'll always have smoke screen up. You will always have a way of just kiting around his AM and preventing the Zeus from just playing his game. Like, there's no counterplay from Talon. Like, BKBs are, again, as you mentioned, not the best items for something like the Zeus and Pugna. AM BKB already down to 6 seconds. It's only enough for one smoke screen. You're just stopping Talon from playing the game with his Ricky build. Gunner is a madman, but
Yeah,
it's
really
really
disruptive.
suppressing Talon.
It really is, yeah. It's just completely disrupting their game plan in these fights. Like, he's just constantly like blinking in, throwing smoke screens, tricks trading, blinking away, throwing a dart, another smoke screen. Like, they do manage to bring him down in that fight, but it was a pretty heavy commitment. Like, he's surprisingly tanky with this Octarine, and Husky has done a really good job on the IO trying to keep these guys alive. So it's pretty sick.
It is. And for Talon, I know. I mean, they're not dropping the lead as much. The lead isn't widening as much as you'd expect it to after all of that commitment. It's still 12k. Last time around it was like 7. Considering the state of game, like a 5k increase isn't as bad as you would think it would be.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're still in somewhat of a position to play this game, but again, it's a hard game to play. I don't see a straightforward a solution to anything that's happening here. They're trying to work onto a Hex on jabs.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, they're just standing under a ward sentry here, and you think like maybe they'd want to go in, and there it is. 23 finds Husky, catches him with the Abyssal Blade, and this is a big kill if they can finish him off, and they will pop him. Move now. On the chopping block as well, Yamson going to try and charge in onto the backside. You do buyback here on the IO. Huge Chain Frost. So it will cause a lot of damage, but Yamson does manage to find the kill. Ends up dying to the Thunder God's Wrath. They've got to find 23 here. The dagger into the Meteor Hammer. Once again, he pops the Manta style. No BKB. Another trick to the trade. Another smoke screen. The Abyssal Blade from Yamsun. They burn him down.
No
and well as
flyback.
a 2-hero Bushwhack Gunner to follow it up. The smoke screens are just everywhere. Just coating the battlefield one by one. He gets the blink out. Can they find the kill on the Zeus? They will not. And Q ends up surviving as well. Really nice play with the Ogre Seal Totem there.
That's just insanity. This is unplayable for Savage. He cannot do anything. He literally cannot do anything as long as that Rick is around, and they just can't burst him. He's too durable. No buyback on Savage. He'll be up in a minute. This should be just a free set of racks coming out for now. It's possibly more. The Fortify will stall them out for a bit, and they don't have the safety of the Aegis anymore. Talon did manage to find a couple of takes there.
Yeah,
Still a tough game.
They caught Tiny. Ooh, double force staff away. You'll be okay. But yeah, tier 3's fallen. They do have the second fortification if they want. They have a lot of magic damage. Like, Yamsun still has to be careful about that fact. And Jam's doing his best here. Of course, does have the Dispel to save him. It's 27 more seconds for the Anti-Mage. He's going to go for the Meteor Hammer once again. And with Yamsun still having those Fervor stacks, they should be able to get it. Dude, if they actually protect this barracks, it will be huge. All right. Slowly but steadily, they do manage to wear it down. Makoto ends up denying it, so quite funny. But I mean, that took a long time.
Yeah, Savage is up, so Nouns have to respect that, and they do back off, but they've got a very good map advantage now with immediately racks down bot. It's always just going to shove in. Someone from Talon's always going to have to respond. They even find a Spell Prism. Oh no, what's the cooldown going to be? Let's see it. 4.6 second smoke screen. Oh my god.
4 second
You just
blink
can't run.
strike?
Can't run. Savage, this is literally unplayable. As long as Gunner's around, no one can play this game. There is no Dota to be played. Only Silence and Mourning coming out from the Ricky. Your namesake, Ricky.
I like this. This is why they named the hero after me.
This is like the worst game of Counter-Strike. Smokes everywhere. You can't do anything. No volumetric smokes yet.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
we don't
the
have
update
CS2.
coming. That's the
Yeah.
next Dota update. Smokes, all like
Volumetric smokes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, smoke up from both teams. They did buy a gem for 23. They're like, okay, you know, maybe this will help you stay alive if you can see the Ricky. We'll see if it ends up making a huge difference because Gunner's able to play so scrappy. He's like, right, he can just bounce back and forth in these fights. But he's queued up a Lincoln Sphere as well, which I'm
like
guessing is to just stop the Blink Abyssal. I don't know what else it would be for.
Stops the Blink Abyssal, stops the Hex on hand. It's pretty useful because they're expecting a Hex to come out as well. And it'll just allow Gunner to play this madness of a game. Like he's probably just never gonna die. The stats are gonna be nice. It's so hard to deal with. Like this feels like Nouns game to really just win. I mean, not to win, but to give up, if ever. They are in a
Hunter
very
with the
commanding
shard.
position. I don't mind that. I think it's pretty useful for Yamson to have, actually. That is, and it's a save. We've seen issues where if Savage is jumping someone, well, with the gem now, it's not going to be as much, but earlier on, when he didn't, like, you don't manage to find a burst. As long as they play around Mikado, it shouldn't be as big of a deal, but again, just imagining a shadow walking troll around 3 Invis heroes, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I'm curious to see how how he ends up playing around with this in these fights. But I mean, you can also just throw it on Husky, and then suddenly, good luck finding the IO, right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't actually see him, you can't Blink Abyssal him. You can track up onto the high ground and move in the absolute nuisance of forces. Gunner just goes in as well as Yamsun. The Shurikens are going to start bouncing as Ollie just gets destroyed. And the chase continues. Huge damage there from that sharpshooter as the Tiny still silenced up, it seems. There's going to be another Shuriken coming out in a moment, but a huge play here from 23. He goes in, but a nice pushback holding him in place. The silence is there. He's got to get out of here, but he's got no BKB left. They're able to take down the Ricky, but he's just going to be able to keep dancing around these fights. The silence catches the Zeus on the backside as well. As Q's trying to run the blink strike forward. Gunner with another silence as well, as he will just back away. What a nightmare to play into.
This is insanity. I mean, to be fair, I think Talon's executing as well as they possibly could. Like, they only lost 2 heroes. And would, well, a dieback on Ollie, but, it could have been worse. It's just that this is probably the best result you could ask for at this moment. And Nouns, I mean, they're just I don't know if you can even call this Dota what Talon's playing anymore. But how Nouns is playing this game. This does not feel like Dota. You saw Mikado, he had like triple 4-staffs on him. They all just focused on saving Mikado. Like just get this guy out of dodge. And that's your play. That's your only counterplay to this goddamn Ricky. That's it. Just drift. And it's not like you can do that every time.
Well, that's pretty good for Yamsun. He also has a Witchbane, which is probably the best Witchbane game of all time against Zeus and Pugna. Like, this does so much damage.
That's massive. He already does so much damage. Having that burn on top is just huge. Got the Ags up in Mikado for further stall. They're going to smoke up again on Talon. I don't know.
Lou gonna go turn Husky invis and say, good luck, friend. I mean, they have a good ward sentry here that's scouting a little bit. The question is, will they be able to find... Oh, they see Husky. The question is, can they pop him? He gets the Glimmer Cape off, and 23 is looking for the opening. He's forced to Abyssal the Troll Warlord as his BKB's already spent in Gunner. Hoping to catch him before he could blink away, but tail end of that BKB, he's out.
So Smoke wasted the BKB gone for quite some time. So minute 10 where it feels like Talon's just not going to be able to play the game. Not that I think they're actually playing the game anymore. Anyway. And they're holding the high ground. Now it's all respecting this potential fight to come in, but they're also just waiting for Roche, which will be up very, very shortly. Talon can scout with the Thunder God's Rat and the Nimbus, but I don't know if they can actually contest. I don't think they can contest at all. It
It's
feels
so
impossible.
hard to fight it. Like, they don't have a great team at fighting in the Roche pit, and you'd be playing around a smoke screen that covers the whole Roche pit, so that's rough.
It
Just
is.
business.
Again,
Nothing
like
personal.
Gunner and the Octarine, Ricky.
It's
And
the Spell
the
Prison that made it
Spell
so much
Prison
worse,
sucks.
right? Like, the Octarine was maybe manageable, but then he got the Spell Prison, the literal best jungle item he could have gotten.
Yeah, like I think even with just the Octarine at 5.3 seconds with a 6-second duration, that's already oppressive. So it's just piling on the hurt.
Yeah.
Like, they were so close to killing him off too, but it just feels impossible, man. Like, if you were playing this game, I would say, I don't know, like you're just kind of playing the game. You don't even think about how to come back. You're just playing to not lose. To be fair, I don't think Talon's playing that way. They've been smoking out. They've been trying to look for opportunities. It just feels impossible. Savage, though, he's trying to go into a Bloodthorn. That could be a solution. Just more, some ways of mitigating some of the output there magically, especially if you manage to hit Moo.
It gives you
get
True
some
Strike in the
control
smoke
as
screen.
well. Yeah, True Strike as well, but you know, once you have so many dispels on hand from Yamson, I doubt it's going to last long. Maybe on Gunner it's a little bit of a better bet.
I'm wondering if you should just go the MKB, you know? It's not a really fun item to build on the Anti-Mage, but I feel like you need a Monkey King bar this game. We're playing the Troll Axes and the Smoke Screen. I don't think the Bloodthorn is enough.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. And I mean, AIMs just hate it. You know, they hate the item. You can see some value from the Mage Slayer, and at least mitigating some of that annoying spell damage coming out from Moo in particular. With the Shuriken Toss.
Yamson
Kind of stall on that.
wants to get to work on these buildings. I mean, Gunner is heading bottom because they are kind of tired of 23 split push. One thing I do like about him, though, is he is itemizing for the Nullifier this time instead. So he says, screw it, I don't want this Agnither, I want Nullifier, and Anti-Mage. He gets the first hit bash, and the Abyssal, the Battle Trance, no way, can 23 get out?
Oh,
He cannot.
boy.
The Manta BKB is not enough. Sometimes you just get lucky. And he actually went Whirling Axes Pierce
So did Gem.
Magic Immunity.
I don't think that's too bad. Just suppress Savage even more. They lose the gem as well. The courier doesn't manage to make it in time. So now you have no protection while farming for Savage. And oh, you
10K
even have a
behind.
heart up. You have a heart up on Moo. You can't burst anyone. You just can't. Even the IO is so hard. Yeah. So
I mean,
2.6k.
Io's going hard. They realize
Why
they just
not?
need
Just
help.
heal
Like,
everyone up.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah. This is unplayable. This is. I know if Talon can somehow make this, then that is probably the best play I'll ever see. But I don't know. I don't know.
You could buy back on the Anti-Mage here, but it would feel pretty rough. Moo starting to take a lot of damage. He does have the BKB available. He's just trying to get some tracks up onto the high ground and maybe start getting these shurikens going. But for now, double catapult. Still doing some work, as the Meteor Hammer should be able to finish off the tower, and it does. So
Dire's middle tower
get
has
themselves
fallen.
another tier 3.
Balance. I mean, the way they're playing is just so good, so broken. I love it. This is ridiculous. Frickin' Gunner.
He's got Nullifier, dude.
It's built.
I mean,
He's got-
he's holding buyback, I guess, but he could buy Nullifier.
Yeah. Savage. He doesn't hold for the buyback. Buys out the Orchid. I know. He's going all in the Bloodthorn. Like,
I don't know, man.
it's back to your points. Like, the MKB is just a lot more consistent there. And even have the Nullifier on Yamson as well. Everything's there.
Yeah, I don't know how you get away from these heroes now. I mean, they're just, again, going to run straight for 23 bottom. They know he's going to be trying to cut these waves. He has a TP available. But Yamsun,
Radiant are scanning.
not showing quite yet. Blinks in, drops the Manta and TPs. So he will be fine. Nice play there from 23.
wasting some time. Giving Talon again one resource that they can actually farm right now. Minutes on our game timer. As now it's. I mean they've. Once you get the heart and Io, how do you kill anyone? You legitimately don't kill anyone. Like Husky is just gonna be so hard to pick off, and he's already been so hard to pick off anyway.
He's still pretty far away though. He's like he needs 1,400 gold for that. He is holding on to a cheese though, so that is going to be a really clutch play potentially coming out from Husky like in this next fight.
You know, if you're playing for time anyway, you're probably going to have enough time to get that, especially if a couple of the track kills come online. Like, even if Talon manages to back off again, like, there's an
toss it. They go for it. Husky ends up following him as well, and that's a dead troll. They've caught Husky.
Whoa!
He has an Aegis, of course. The question is, can he get anything out of here? Yamsun.
What? What?
Did he DC? I don't know.
No.
He's just dead. Didn't pop anything. No battle trans, no BKB, and now Io.
What?
Might just be diebacking here as well. His reload does get him out at least, but Moo trying to TP, he will not get bashed.
Bottom barracks has fallen.
I don't know what happened with Yamsun there.
He got avalanche tossed, sure, but he got chain stunned. It looked like right on his respawn. I think he just got what was it? A Nimbus stun or just a lightning bolt?
It was just a bolt into a mana void and another bolt. I mean, he definitely could have BKB'd, but
I think that was just really tight execution on Talon, though.
Yeah,
they timed everything perfectly. So that's what it takes to come back in this game. Just get an insane avalanche toss on two if they're too far forward.
Oh, speaking of which, can't find Moo there though. Right next to a creep.
Under attack.
So
there's no way Talon comes back like this though. Surely.
You say that, but here we are, man. This is their time to push the high ground. Sharpshooter off the mark there, and they've got a. I mean, the thing is Moo is a really hard hero to push into because he's just gonna keep throwing these shurikens. It will keep stealing a lot of gold, and it will keep stealing a lot of damage. Oh, but they got him on the toss back. Hex up into an Abyssal Blade. Moo needs help. Does he get the BKB? He's got the save from Husky. The cheese is there. And Moo will get out.
Radiant's middle tower.
Smoke screen makes it impossible to push. Yeah. They actually just can't push with it up. So they're forced to back off. They at least force out the cheese usage for Talon, but they don't find the objective in that opening. And it's... Alright, so even if you find these kills, how do you push objectives with Gunner alive? Because this guy ain't jumping in. He's not... He has no need to jump in. All he has to do is drop that smoke screen. And how do you push? What? You're depending on just Nether Blast at this point. Maybe Zeus right clicks. That's... and Lich right clicks. That's not really something you'd want to do here. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean... Talon's held once... Can they hold again?
We're in for the long haul, my friend John. We're, game 1, 17 minutes. Game 2, 170 minutes. That's what we're looking at here.
What is this? What is this? I mean, it's still Talon's game to win. I'm not saying Talon's back. They are not back, but they are playing and trying to make it back. They're smoking out.
I like this,
man. Find one
man.
isolated hero. This could turn a bit.
Moo, will he get the vision here? He does. Start throwing the tracks out. Does see Q here. They drop the ward sentry up on the high ground. He needs to be a little bit careful. The Blink Abyssal from Yamsun just gets right on top with a nullifier. He cannot survive, and now Lelis is looking for an opening. Makoto dodges it out, but there's the second nullifier. Is Gunner gonna get to work on over there, but a nice decrep by him some face. But the backside of the fight, it's all Husky getting chased down here by 23, but he gets out with the Glimmer Cape once again. Gunner is dead. 125 seconds as they take down Ollie as well as 23 trying to find his opening once more as Yamsun's out of mana.
What a toss.
You need to be very careful. He gets the bash. Yamsun in trouble. He's falling quick, and he's gone.
What?
They buy back on Ricky for this, and a Blink Hex comes out. They get the Bounty Hunter as well. It's the gem if they can find it. Will they do it? Nice pushback. BKB comes out from Moo. He's running fast. I don't know if he's going to get out. There is an Abyssal Blade up on 23. The Blink in 1, 2. Nymphis catches him. He's in trouble. That is it. Bounty Hunter goes down once again.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I am just dumbfounded. They're making it work. Talon are taking these really scrappy fights, splitting the teams up. It cost them buybacks, so they're not in the comfiest position on Talon. And they still can't push high ground, mind you. This is still down to just jab spamming Netherblast, but they are making some progress on that matter. Let me tell you, 23 with his talent selection, the Mana Void cooldown, doing a ton.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is actually starting to give them more openings in this game. I'm surprised he's not chopping the tree with his battle fury, though. He has been caught out with that multiple times, but they take a tier 3. They can't get the racks, but they take a tier 3. They drag the lead down to 10k. Huh? And Roshan's up. So
That's
you just
fourth
run
Roche.
into it with everything.
I mean, you don't have Yamsun. They get this Roche, I'm pretty sure. Unless Gunnar does some miracle play here. You have BKB available on 23. Thunder God's
so
Wrath does
slow.
come through. I mean, they know. Husky's going to try and reload in the Troll, but it's too late. That was the whole play here. They want to reload in Troll when he's up in 3 seconds, but fourth Roche is down.
It's so slow, though.
That's going to completely even up the net worth.
Oh my god. So now you have Blink Fragments on 23. This is where the game becomes a lot more playable for the AM. He can just Blink Fragment the scout, Blink Fragment around to annoy, force out spell uses, item uses on the side of nouns.
Radiant
And
are
down to a
scanning.
2k lead. What in God's name happened? Nouns. What have they done? Talon, what have they managed to do?
Yeah, I think this is more of a Talon managing to find the smallest of openings in what looked like an impossible game.
It's just, I'm just astounded. Look at that. Well, to be fair, even Dota Plus didn't quite give it to nouns. I figured they'd have a 99% chance to win for a long time, but Dota Plus, the AI overlords have actually had Talon with a higher margin than I'd expect. So what do I know? The AI knows better.
Look at the Dota Plus 1%, man.
Exactly. It never hit 99 for nouns. They know it knows.
It's 51-49 now, though. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
crashed.
like, yeah, toss a coin, man. We don't even know. Like, this game's bonkers.
What a game to tie out this day, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun so far. It's like game 1 was definitely like a little bit of a disappointment, but man, they're not quite the same game 2 experience. We're at 54 minutes now.
Radiant's top tower
Both
is
cores sitting
under
at
attack.
45,000 net worth. That's just your normal stuff.
I'm just losing my mind here, Ricky. No problems.
Double down.
Problems. I'm surprised Jabs hasn't opted for his shard and Ags at any point yet. Even a shard, just Nether Ward. And he's been doing so much damage actually with his life drain because he's ignored now. And then no one wants to have to deal with a Pugna when you have this AM and the Zeus that you need to pin down and the Tiny that you need to burst down ASAP with how Jabs has been playing, with how Q has been playing. So Jabs is free to just actually get a long channel life drain. if he had his shard, it would feel
Radiant's top
pretty
tower
good
is
to
under
just
attack.
damage so many of them. No one wants to kill the shard in the middle of this fight now. No one wants to kill the ward.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That's so true, man. That thing, I forget how cool that shard is. It's actually really neat. Dude, how does he have so much gold just sitting on
Radiant's
it in
top
his
tower
backpack
is
right
under
now?
attack.
And he's just holding out buyback and one big buyout, I suppose. It's the name of the
Buyback
game.
and an extra 5,400.
Yeah, figuring out what he needs. His slots are all full. Look, that stick, that wand, very useful, alright? Come on, toss it.
I mean, I'm surely it'll be something like a BKB or
Yeah, I want the BKB.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what else. I mean, they've got Mu once again tossed up onto the high ground. He has a BKB available, but can he get out? He's trying to chase after him. The blink fragments were spent. So he gets the invis off, and Husky will save him. I mean, that's going to be a dead IO, though, when he comes back, most likely. I mean, Gunner's here on the side, ready to go. Maybe he can drop the smoke screen and buy him some space. They do manage to pop the BKB on 23, but yeah, the instant hex onto the IO. Husky, he needs to get out. Can he? Into the trees. The Aeon just protecting him. The tossback ends up catching Gunner instead. And Yamsun gets aggressive on the Q. The Nullifier is there. And Gunner nullified up to Pugna. He pops the cheese, able to survive for now. But it's going to be 23 versus the world. He's all alone. They've got the battle trance. They're just trying to hold it until a second life. They managed to get 23 once. But can they get him twice? They have to. The BKB out from Yamsun. There's the battle trance. The Nullifier's on top. 23 is going to go down. He has the buyback available. But a big win from Nouns.
And that is massive. Without the AM, it becomes a lot harder to play. They have buyback ready, but no buyback on Q. I think that's the bigger issue. The Tiny, again, has been setting up all of these plays, forcing out all of these issues for Nouns. And without Q for the next 70 seconds, you have an opening. Unfortunately, you do not have Roche. It was a fresh take for Talon. You're just going to have to either try to brute force or just wait it out a little bit more here. Talon in a rocky position once more, but we've seen him in this spot. I can't get him in this game anymore. Like, it still feels like Nouns should have an easier time, and you know what? They've found the kills they need. Now all they need to do is translate that into objectives, into the Ancient at some point.
I feel like you have to wait for BKB on Yamsun here. It's still almost 30 seconds away. Anti-Mage does have his buyback, but we saw what happened last time. Yamsun went up onto the high ground, and...
Oh, it happens again!
I mean, yeah, he's just dead. Moo pops the BKB, Gunner goes in, tries to get on top of Makoto. He spawns his own BKB and a buyback now from the Anti-Mage. The Blink Abyssal catches the Ricky. He needs to get out and fast, but a bash comes through. Gunner's dead. That's a dieback, 125 seconds. Husky? Oh, he's hexed as well. The Aeon Disc tries to protect him. I hate to break it to you, but that's 3 dead.
Ricky being down, that opens up an actual push for Talon. They don't have to worry about that goddamn smoke screen. That's the one here they really need to take care of. Look at Jabs. He's finally bought out, and it's a Dagon 5 he's trying to rush. Just waiting for the buyback. There it is. What on earth? Yamsun.
He just
couldn't pop the BKB?
He didn't have his BKB yet. Like, it was still on cooldown for like 10 more seconds, and you didn't have the Ricky to protect you, right? You need the Ricky with like the smoke screen behind you or something, but they just didn't have it. They're gonna buy back Troll, they're gonna buy back the IO. Obviously, you need to get 23 here, but he feels like he can just go in, and he wants this barracks. He's gonna get it.
What on earth?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I am just bewildered. Talon, they're gonna take at least one more set of racks, and this actually gives them a slight advantage because of mid. The mid imbalance is there. They can equalize bot if they want to, but they're playing it safe. They know it's still a hard game. They know that Nouns still has a lot of tools to win this out. But they've got Q around. They've got the avalanche toss. They've got the toss back if Q finds the angle here with a blink.
Yeah, he's really trying, right? He's just sitting super far back with this Shadow Blade, and he's just throwing these blink fragments up onto the high ground. I mean, he's gonna get him. Double racks down.
Lane advantage. Like, mid's gonna shove in, bot's gonna equalize. Talon get a 2K lead now for themselves. 33 to 19. We're reaching the 60-minute mark as well. Some tier 5s can come out, and Talon has map control.
Dude, this level 5 Dagon is actually going to be game-changing, too.
It is, because you just burst down Yamsun if you catch him out like that again.
Not having Battle Trance strong dispel, right? Like, we actually thought, like, he would go for that, but... No, it ends up kind of biting him in the butt a little bit as he went for the whirling axes. And, I mean, we do have level 25 on Lelis now, so grab the Bushwhack Radius, and that is pretty good. And here come the tier 5 items. So they get themselves Forest Boots. That being said, Talon is in their base. They're actually a little bit afraid that Nouns is smoking across the map for them, and I don't really blame them. So
It's scouted.
Yeah.
They popped the Thunder God's Wrath while they were smoking base, so they have an idea foray is happening, but they should take this chance to farm up some of those tier 5s. They need, if they find, that's a big one. Mirror Shield for 23 is going to be massive. If they can find Force Boots as well here.
That's a Rapier. Troll has a Rapier.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh no, Yamsun. This is scary. If he drops, he doesn't have buyback. Then again, it's all in cooldown anyway, but if he drops, that could that could end the game. I'm pretty sure you could actually just hand Q to Divine, and you'd be pretty happy.
A Stygian, huh? For each team. I mean, is the I guess the Witchbane is better on him versus like heroes like Zeus and Pugna. I mean, that is probably more damage based on how high of a mana pool they have. But they'll hold on to the Stygian.
Seer Stone is huge. The Seer Stone is so huge on jabs. Like that Life Drain range, the Nether Blast range, like even the Decrep range. Like he can play so far back now.
The Hex,
his Hex range as well. Like God, that's perfection. Well, they got the Book of the Trash as well.
I mean,
they do have
it's
force
pretty
boots.
good for split pushing right now, right? Like you just
It is.
run them down the lane, and the fact that like these creeps are relatively strong. Didn't they keep buffing the Archer aura at some point? Like 9% movement speed or whatever now? Oh, mid lane Rax is gone.
Barracks has fallen.
It actually does the job, and they're smoked out here, Talon. Roshan a minute away. Seer Stone's actually quite the imbalance. Like if you don't find a Seer Stone and now it feels awful. It actually feels so bad. Just because like that global vision it provides as well is it's nuts.
Dude, these things have 1800 HP. Oh my goodness.
Who has 1800?
The Necro minions, they have 1800 health.
Oh,
Book of Shadows and Pirate Hat. I mean, that is an unfortunate Pirate Hat. There's not really anyone who wants that. You're just going to use it for the bounties.
Yeah, the Book of Shadows might be useful. I can see it maybe being as a decent save.
It looks like Gunner's going to take it. So he's just realizing they need to actually build him as a carry now. Like outside of this utility build. Like Yamsen can't do it alone. So he's queued up a Daedalus.
I respect that.
I'll get over it.
And if they can scale on both, it becomes a lot harder for Talon. Like outside of just the utility of the smokes. If you have to worry about the Riki actually killing you as well, which Gunner has done a couple times. He's almost killed off the backline, and he's forced a lot of utility to be used out from Mikado and from Q just to bail out. This game, this is such a ridiculous game,
Dire
Ricky.
are scanning.
Who would have thought? It's Nouns versus Talon that goes this far with the 33-19 scoreline. Let me tell you though, Ricky, this is a classic Talon game. They get themselves in this kind of game.
Is this a classic Talon game?
Yes, it is. You know, the epitome of a Talon game was ESL Genshin qualifiers, finals Polaris versus Talon game 4 or 5. We did not have any team with more than 10 kills until we reached 40 minutes.
Oh my god, I remember that. I remember the screenshots
Yes,
from that game, and I was like, this is pain.
Yeah, I was sending it over to our chat. It was like, hey guys, look what we have to cast. Ha ha ha. 40 minutes of fill with Mike and John. And there was also a game where Talon was like behind so far, and then they get like a Lincoln's BKB on Savage, and then the Doom couldn't do anything. Oh.
Gunner forced the BKB. Q went in to try and get the Avatos, but ends up missing. So they get themselves the kill. Gunner finally, with that BKB, will be able to find some space. Oh, Jamson getting popped. Do they have to save? He needs to get the BKB off. He's actually just... Oh, it's Book of Shadows. I was like, why can't he use anything? Book of Shadows saves him. All right, it works. They buy back on Q. They get something. There's a gem on the deck here. But Roshan's starting to get worked on.
Oh,
Blink,
Gunner?
the Hex. They've
That's
got
bigger.
the Book of Shadows will save him again. In goes Yamsun. He's looking for his target. He gets onto Ollie. The Hex is there, but 23 with a refresh. He gets out. Yamsun pops that Battle Trance, but he hasn't got his hands onto anything. It will finally be Ollie. The Whirling Axes get him, but Troll needs to get out. This Divine Rapier is a huge problem. Okay, these Book of Shadows are just saving him over and over. He's got the Satanic to work with, but he's disarmed again. He tries to get tossed out. Canyon took for 5. He won't. The Divine's on the deck and move. Has to get out. The huge bushwhack onto 3. Gunner goes in, tries to get on top of him. Cody gets the BKB, but can they kill the Anti-Mage? He's got that Divine in his grasp, but can he get on top of these heroes? They take down that Pugna. Gunner bouncing over to Makoto once again. He drops a smoke screen. He needs to get to safety, but can he do it? The Abyssal Blade comes out onto Husky, and 23's gonna get this damage in. Io's hitting the deck. That's a dieback. As 3 heroes are gone on Nouns, Gunner's gonna have his buyback available, but I hate to say it, man. It might all be done here for Nouns.
What an insane game. What an insane game! Talon, they reel it back, get the buybacks out, they have Roshan access. They have the Divine. Like, this is it.
Man. Jabs just zero stone, dude, on this Bugda is ridiculous.
It is.
Oh my goodness, they will walk right into Zeus. I mean, this is a huge kill, and they got him. He does have the buyback, but you're going to be playing into pretty much everything, right? Aegis available. Gunner forced the BKB and try and back away here as he will be able to. 23 looking for more up onto the high ground. Buyback on the IO. I mean, buybacks in terms of status, you have one left on the anti-mage, you have two available on nouns here, both Moo on this Bounty Hunter and the Hoodwink.
Top tower is under attack.
Whether or not they can hold this last barracks, we're going to find out. It's not looking good. Yamsun's still dead for 24 seconds.
Radiant's top barracks are under
Anti-mage with
attack.
a Divine Rapier.
Radiant's top barracks.
That's it. Mega Creep secured. What can they do, John?
Have mega creeps.
Well, once Yamsun's back, you can still try to make plays. I don't think the Divine loss is going to hinder their actual output. They can still try to control Savage. There's still a play back into this for Nouns, but all of a sudden, Talon's in the lead. Oh my god, this is... I can't believe this is the most exciting game, in my opinion, we've got, Ricky. Talon Nouns. Neff, eat your heart out. This game is probably killing him inside. It's probably killing Brando inside. Every staff member of each team watching this game is probably ripping all their hair out. This is the state of the game right now. No more hair strands, Ricky. Hair off, hats off. Dota 2 is being played.
I don't know if I can take much more of this, man. My heart is it's not cut out for this type of stuff. Oh my lord.
Like, look, Q now has his Ags, so he could theoretically itemize as a core now.
He's got a Stygian
got the
Deso,
Stygian
dude. Oh
in the
my
backpack.
god. Alright, Q, I see you, man. I see you. I respect it, man. That's gonna be sick. Oh wait, no, that's a Lincoln's. Oh wait, did he get the Ags from Roche or
Got
something?
the free, yeah, he got the free
Oh
Roche
my
Ags.
god. Suddenly tiny net worth stonks, baby.
Yep. Yeah, this. He's going for the crystals. Yeah, just go for the label. Maybe Silver Edge here. I wouldn't mind that. Have a crit on hand, 3 volley out, more damage, more fun. The sad thing is our supports aren't even 25. This is the one painful thing. Like, I feel like you could get a lot of value from something like Ollie's 25. He doesn't even have it. But like unlimited bounces on the Chain Frost. Could you imagine how different these fights would be with that? It would be unsustainable for Nouns.
It'd be pretty
Stay
cool.
in there.
It'd be pretty cool. I'd be down for that. The one thing Nouns do have going for them is free bounty runes every 30 seconds. So, I mean, those are a decent chunk of money. But unfortunately for them, Talon has full control over the map. So they will grab 2 bounties.
I don't think the money is going to be a major issue for Nouns, because again, they've had a net worth lead for a while. At this point, this 18k net worth lead from Talon literally means nothing but that, more than that they are likely to have buybacks when they're off cooldown.
Yeah.
Maybe support form. That's where the difference really lies in these late game scenarios. I think that's where it really just boils down to how much more are supports able to get. And that heart we were talking about on Husky, it's not coming out. It hasn't come out. Just because of how all those fights went out. Lullis with an Ags pickup down the line could be massive. That secondary decoy shot is actually huge.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, a lot of counter control. The break could come in clutch as well. But they have nowhere to play.
So they
And
got
it's-
this Aegis, and there's 1 minute left, and they have not gone high ground. They got
to be fair,
they
it's
got
an
the
Aegis on
Megas, you know,
jabs.
but yeah, it is an Aegis on jabs. Yeah.
The conundrum is, I don't think Talon's confident going high ground at all without a pickoff. Like, they have to find punishment onto Nouns, and Nouns understands they can't dip outside their base. So you're at an impasse, where you're probably just gonna wait for buybacks to be off cooldown for both sides now, and just try to outplay each other.
Somehow
So you
Dota Plus
just wait.
still gives Nouns a 23% chance to win.
That's what I'm saying. A while ago, when Nouns had the advantage, Talon had a 10% chance to win. It's like, it's giving a lot more leeway for either side to turn around here. It's being much more fair and just because I've seen it randomly go to 1% when the game feels maybe mildly playable in a lot of games. I'm sure you've seen that as well, Ricky. But now it's so just and fair. It woke up.
Oh god, not the AI's awakening, John.
It's time to run.
Yeah.
Soon there'll be AI casters with our synthesized voices, Ricky.
Yeah, I don't know if you
Our
heard, but
jobs
JJ
will be
was
gone.
talking about how they have an AI now that runs all of the all of the observing in production now. So that's pretty pog.
Yeah. Jobs will be taken. If first they come for the observers, and I did not complain for I was not an observer. Then they came for the casters, and I did not complain because I'm not a caster. And then they came for the players, and no one complained because there was no one left.
There was no scene.
so that
it was
goes.
all gone. Everyone had moved on. Well, it looks like we're going to see a smoke from Talon here. The Aegis has expired, but they feel, you know, we're confident now. We can try and take this fight. Maybe they
Battle
can
Fury
opening on the move.
down.
There's going to be the Hex from literally a different country, and Moo is gone.
I like that he went Battle Fury though. He's just trying to clear out the creep wave. This takes me back to Dota 1, man. Oh god.
All
Do
right,
what you
well,
have to do.
he's going to buy back again. He was one of the few that did have it. Troll, Warlord, and the Hoodwink still have their own. The tier 4 is taking a lot of damage here, but the Black trying to just clear out these creep waves. And
Radiant's middle
thoughts
tower
from Q?
has fallen.
not super effective against Yamsun because it's just in an insane amount of armor. Level 30 now on the anti-mage, so good luck killing this guy.
Yeah, no. He has a lot of magic resist.
Yamsun. The Hex as well, catches Yamsun. They will be able to pull him away, and Gunnar just goes in, pops that BKB on 23. He's trying to get out of here. The Blink Fragment's on forward. Yamsun, he's in pretty deep with his own BKB spent as well. Pops Satanic trying to heal Gunnar. Dude, this Pugna's damage. Jabs is just shredding these heroes.
Q?
Can he get more? Yeah, Q. The toss out. He's managed to hold the Troll Warlord off to the side. He's got a battle trance, but he's silenced up. The Book of Shadows trying to protect him, but a huge pushback on the other side. The Abyssal Blade comes out. They've got the Zeus. They've got the Pugna. They've got the Lich. Gunnar trying to do it, but 23 focusing the throne. There's going to be the battle trance. 23 trying to get out. He blinks to safety, but the Hex is there. 23 goes down. The Divine Rapier hits the deck, and Q is trying to run as well. John, we have a game again. Q trying to survive. I don't think he's going to make it out. The Nullifier is there. Talon wiped. They have buybacks, a throne exposed. But have Nouns managed to hold this game? 13,000 goals. Oh my god.
Oh, this is insanity. Oh, who actually picked up the Divine? Okay, it's back in Yamsun. So, you know what? For Talon, I think the plan is just go Dagon 5s on everyone. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Just go Divine. Just go Dagon 5s and literally everyone. That's the play. Just burst someone down, anyone down. And this game is in your control. Right now, it's not looking that way. They're rushing in. You've got to buy back, Talon.
You've got backdoor protection and fourth, but Troll with this like Stygian Deso just does not care. Stygian Deso and a Divine. Your Rax is in so much danger. They buy back to Zeus. They buy it back. I mean, that's 4 buybacks. Make it 5. They're trying to get back into the fight, but the Pugna Hex up caught with a Nullifier. Makoto in some trouble as well. The toss back will be able to save Jabs for now, but can Gunnar find him? The sleeping guard is there. They get the kill. Sniped by a Shuriken. That's his dieback. Nouns, they've got an opening. The question is, can they close out this game? No fortifications left for Talon. It's a 5v4. 23. Needs to be very careful here. Gunnar's looking for him. Does he go for it?
Oh, the toss?
Protected for the moment. Yamsun does go in. Gets on top of Q. The dart not going to be able to connect, but they get Ollie on the backside, and they get the tiny 3 down. 23 Savage. The lone survivor on the front side as the Bushwhacks caught him, and somehow Nouns managed to win this game? Say it ain't so.
There's no way Mikado does anything at this point by himself, and the GG's called. Oh, Talon, they tried to go for the all-in on the high ground. It bites them in the bum, and